So, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna do a rat flicks about Auto Gimbal. Why using Auto Gimbal? So I can hear people say, "Oh, fuck, Auto Gimbal. That's the zero skill weaponry. Red God is a Auto Gimbal getter. It's shit. Skill is in the fixed weapon. Blah blah blah." I heard that since a while. Okay. But first thing first, let's jump into Pirate Swarm. So we have something running in the background. And a small disclaimer, okay? So I've always been a fixed player since 2.4, 2.6. Of course, I like fixed weapon, but things have changed. Have you all noticed? The game, the skill setting has been lowered for multiple reasons, including the flight model, but the state of the game too is terrible. Like, of course, desync, abuse, wiggle. The ESP is borked, and we have auto aim on fixed weapon, meaning that when you shoot with your fixed weapon, the game aim for you at a certain percentage, but it's a lot. So mm, tell me about the skill and that. I don't know. So of course, I wish we didn't have to use that. We could be like in 2.4, 2.6 till 3.3, maybe 3.4, where ESP was good and you could make some curve and be pretty efficient with fixed weapon. But all that have changed, right? So what is the true state of fixed weapon? As I said, there is auto aim, the ESP. Even if you tried hard, all the setup you can in a game option, it's kind of fucked up, you know. And depending of the lag or the desync of the other player, your 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 ESP will drag you out of the target or magnet in. Uh, it's not a very good experience. So I decide to look at the auto gimbal, what we can do with the auto gimbal. So what is it? I mean, you all know what is auto gimbal, I guess, but it's auto track the target on a large angular circle, but it doesn't do all the job. You have to be pretty accurate. I will come back to that. So how you set it up? It's pretty easy. You go in your ship customization and you pick up the Varipunk, at least for Gladius, the size 3 Varipunk gimbal mount. And I mean, you can do that with all the weapons, but we all use pretty much laser repeater. So you decrease from the size 3 Panther to the size 2 Badgers. And then you press the gimbal. As you can see on the bottom right, it switched from target, which is the manual gimbal, totally different topic. I think nobody use it anyway. The lock, it's the fixed one, and you have to be on the auto, and you have this circle. The circle is where you have to put the target in, but not only in. Okay. So, um, what are the benefits of the auto gimbal? So first thing is look at the DPS. If you run fixed on Panther, you have 1500 burst DPS, and if you are on Badger, you are 4000. So pretty much the same, right? But the difference is you're gonna spend more time applying damage, and that's the thing that is the most important when you fight. Is it's not the basic DPS, it's how long you can apply damage on your target. And you increase that a lot with the auto gimbal because you stay longer on it. And there is something else. You have more ammunition too. So For instance, with the Badger, the on gimbal have 46 ammo. I think with the fix I'm around 30. I may be wrong, but you get a huge bonus. Uh, and what else? You can track desync player in the easiest way, and you can track wiggle player. And on wiggle player, I know wiggle is not the main concern right now, but there are some wiggle guns around, and you just watch them wiggling in front of you with your auto gimbal tracking. It's very comfortable. The other thing is when you are on auto gimbal, you are much more focused on how to maneuver in your fight rather than how to. I mean, you keep aiming, but you are not obsessed with aiming, and you don't spend your time focused on your right stick, like chasing this fucking pip. You are way more into maneuvering, so you can pull some really good maneuver, and I think it increase your skill when it comes to maneuvering dogfight, which we could do back in the days when the ESP on fix was good, right? But I don't think it's the case anymore. So, what's my next point? Uh, I guess. Oh yeah, of course, there is something very very important. So, since the last patch, we have the change in the shield mechanic. Like you all know that, I guess. But now, when you keep applying damage on the hull, the 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 shields don't recharge, right? And it's super important. That's why a lot of people go away to recharge their shields, right? So with the amount of ammunition you have and the time on target increased, you keep the shields from regenerating on your opponent much longer, and it makes a huge difference in combat. I would even say that's the basic. I mean, it's the core uh, dogfight gameplay now. Once a guy has the shield down, if you succeed like keeping him committing into you, he's dead. You know, shields are very very important. So now you have a way to keep the shield down way much more longer than before. So okay, so how you use that? You use auto gimbal effectively. There is it's not it's not that easy because if it was, folks, it would be the meta. People can spend their time shouting about skill, but why people are all using a Gladius? Why people are always using the best component, the best chip, and the best loadout? Because it's the more effective. So if auto gimbal was the easiest way to win, everybody would be on, right? But it's not at all the case. I mean, I don't know, maybe some other player at my level use it, but I don't know them, or I didn't notice that, but I'm pretty sure that most of the core, hardcore, tryharder PvP community is full fixed. So how do how do you use it effectively? The first thing is it will switch your focus on your if you're obviously I'm speaking for stick user, right? If you're on dual stick, you're gonna go being focused on your right stick to being focused on your left stick because you're gonna naturally start to aim with your straf much more, like 15%, maybe 100% more, because you want to position, you want to drag your ship into good position for aiming, and you're gonna naturally do it way better with your left stick with your straf than with your right stick, which leads to the curve. Uh, uh, pattern, and as far as I'm concerned, I rather have now with Auto Gimbal a very loose but very precise strap on my left stick, so my curve are not that tight, even though I use a high saturation. But the sensibility is very low. When on the my aiming stick, the right stick, it's much stronger. I don't want my right stick to move a lot. I mean, basically, I don't really move it a lot. It's very little degrees, so it's very strong. It's thick. The with a, um, huge, bigger spring. I use a Virpil gimbal, but it's very tight. So I guess it's really good for people who plays DCS and used to flight real real-ish plane where it's really strong. I think that moving on to Auto Gimbal would be very easy for you. So second thing is you use lead peep, because if you use lag, the tracking it's gonna be bad. Okay, if I switch to lag, you see my two circles are bouncing around. It's bad. But as soon as I'm on lead, I can stay on target. And all I do there is with my strap. I almost not moving my pitch anymore. Okay? I know it's NPC, but believe me, it's pretty effective on the real player too. Let me bounce out a little. So curve, we talk about curve, lead peep. When you fight with the Auto Gimbal, you're gonna be much more into this mindset of connecting the target, connecting the aim. You can feel it. Okay, like beam, you go on and you feel the connection. You have to put it into the center anyway. It's not because it's in the big circle that you're gonna. You see, it doesn't work. I have to be on the center. So that's why it's not like a win button. And look at here, I'm only using my strap. Okay. As far for the ESP, I use what is, I think pretty much everybody use that, but I have the 20-degree, let's check, option. Yeah, I'm on 20 degrees and the dampening at the minimum. So it works really well with, it works with fixed, but it also works very well with the Auto Gimbal. And last thing, Auto Gimbal has been kind of nerfed a long time ago between high speed and low speed. It's one the only thing that make a difference regarding speed, which is a entirely different topic, and I hope we would have a way of. I mean, I hope CIG will do as they said, like bringing combat to a much lower speed for engagement, because higher speed combat is a pain. But on that topic, you are much more effective because it's a feature with Auto Gimbal. If you stay around SCM speed, or I mean under 400 meters a second, above that your tracking will be degraded, and it's intended. So it's pretty much like fixed. You are way more effective if you are, I would say, under 300 meters and around SCM speed and 400 meters per second. you can feel the difference. If you are really fast, uh, you're gonna apply damage, but it's not gonna be you're not gonna apply as much DPS because the game. Uh, I mean, the code is like that for intended purpose. Okay, sorry. I'm digressing sometimes, and I'm not super clear, but I hope you get the point. Um, so conclusion. What is my conclusion? Okay, question the skill. What is the skill? Skill is just something that people throw you at the face. If you are effective in a game, you are good at the game. That's it. Using the tools, not cheesing, not abusing. If you just use the tools and you're good at it, it means you're good at it. That's it. That's the skill. The skill is not being masochist and doing using something that is borked and doesn't work well. Because if we go that road, like just take the worst ship in the game, the worst component, and go with the worst weapon, right? So skill is just being effective with what the game offers, and the best pilot are just the ones that use at their maximum their ability to understand the game and to play with it. Okay, not to. I mean, I said it at first, but you have really strong auto aim on fixed. So basically, there is no there is no. I mean, I would even say there is absolutely zero skill in fixed. It's the same as Auto Gimbal. The only thing is you are being masochist because you keep tracking a pip that goes away for performance issue, player issue, connection issue, curve issue, hardware issue, or you name it. One funny thing is from a sci-fi perspective, having guns that track uh, by themselves doesn't. I mean, I like the idea. It fits the narrative of a sci-fi movie, okay, or sci-fi game. Uh, how what can I add with that? I just hope that the game will improve and that, for instance, here G will give the option to get rid of the auto aim on fix as an option, maybe. Like you beginner will have the auto aim on fixed, and if you are getting good, you get rid of it. So I think I read somewhere that they might give us that. Okay, and I hope the performances of the game would be better because it's hard to judge. But maybe if we didn't have such desync or lag or whatever, fix would be easier to. I mean, funny to use. My point is, I use it because I can I can still kill player with fixed. It's not the issue of. It's not even being better. It's just that it's more fun because I can focus on maneuvering. I can fly. I don't feel like being in an FPS, like a shooter game, completely obsessional on my aim. Okay, so it was a long one. If you have question, just feel free to ask. If you want to rant or insult me, you can do it. I like it too. I hope it was kind of clear-ish, and see you around, folks.